Greetings, everyone. Sean from the future here once again. This is being recorded on March 28th, 2019. And this footage we're watching was recorded on December 8th, 1992. So it's definitely going back a bit. So you may be experiencing a little bit of deja vu here, thinking, hey, Sean, didn't we, just see this game a few videos ago? And the answer to that question is, why, yes. Yes, you did. So, you may further ask, why are we seeing it again? Well, a couple of reasons for that. The first time I showed this was back in, when I was doing Video Letters to Jason 12. And this, as you just saw from the opening titles prior to this, is, of course, Video Letters to Jason 13. So, I wanted to revisit it because it's horror-themed, and obviously kind of wanted a horror theme to Video Letter 13. And also because, well, quite frankly, I didn't do very well when I played this last time. So I wanted to kind of have a do-over. Well, we'll see how well that goes. So, Pinball Dreams was pretty cutting edge when this came out, I have to say. And not to mention influential. I mean, prior to this, pinball games on the computer were okay, but shall we say a little bit janky. They tended to be, they would confine all the action to one screen, or kind of give you an angled view so you could see the tables, sorta. But this one really kind of changed the game, as it were, by giving you a full-size table and just scrolling around it, wherever the ball goes, so seamlessly and so perfectly. I mean, there's just, you don't think twice about it. You're following the ball around, you're hitting targets, you're bouncing around. I mean, it just feels so natural, the way this works. I mean, you gotta figure when this came out, in 1992. I mean, there was just nothing else like this. Not to mention the fact, this thing ran smooth as silk on a bog-standard stock Amiga. So we're talking Amiga with a 68,000 processor running at 7.14 megahertz and a megabyte of memory. And that's it. That's all it needed to run this smoothly. And it scrolled at a full 60 frames per second, too. So it was really, really quite slick. And very influential, too, I gotta say, because pretty much every pinball game that came out after this for many, many, many years, until now, and of course we have, high definition and everything and can do a lot more, pretty much modeled itself after Pinball Dreams. So this was pretty cool. So this here, of course, was the demo for Pinball Dreams. It's not the full game. I didn't get the full game until many, many years later when they actually re-released it on the PlayStation 3 via the PlayStation Network. Yeah, you can get Pinball Dreams and its sequel, Pinball Fantasies, in full form on the PlayStation Network. And it's pretty cool. And I'm really not doing very well here, am I? So essentially what I wanted to do was show, try to trigger a few more events here than we managed to do last time. Kind of give you a better look at all the different features of the table. By the way, the layout of this table seems a little bit familiar. It was not so, not so stealthily based on the layout of Terminator 2, the pinball game based on the movie Terminator 2: Judgment Day. So that was an arcade pinball game. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, being a Terminator 2 fan, it was almost kind of like having a home version of that table, in addition to being a horror fan, having that table layout with a horror theme. So it's kind of a double whammy for me. So this being the demo version, I have to give mad props to the game makers in that they really did not disable the demo at all. Like normally with pinball table demos, you have you either have limited time or the game kicks you out when you hit a certain score threshold. But this one did not. You could actually play this as much as you wanted. They didn't care. They were like, you know what? People are going to love this so much, they're going to buy the game. So we're just going to give them a full table to play. The only difference was, in the final version of the game, there was actually music that played during the actual gameplay here. So I don't know if they just hadn't finished the music yet. They only had the intro music, but yeah, that's the only thing missing here. But that's okay. I mean, it's fine with just the table sound effects, and certainly makes doing these commentaries a little easier. I'm going to talk over the music, but But yeah, it's great stuff. Ball 3. All right, how are we going to do a little better this time? Nope. No kickback on this one. I think they introduced kickback in Pinball Fantasies. But this one, no, you just got the... Notice the upside-down crosses on the bumpers. I never really sort of registered that before, but they have, like, satanic imagery in this. So, yeah, good times. But yeah, basically the goal here is just to, you know, light up the various letter targets and hit the ramps. I used to be really good at hitting the ramps consecutively and stuff like that. And then if you get, you see the clock in the middle there. That's, you know, the Roman numerals. If you light up all 12 of those, it goes into what's called midnight mode, which is like a big bonus round where everything is worth more points and stuff. So it's pretty cool. And you also have the graveyard letters. You light up the graveyard letters with different things. There's ball locks. I can't remember if you get multi-ball in this or not. But anyway, it's a pretty kick-ass pinball game. Oh, and you notice, when we scroll back up there, if you notice in the bumpers up at the top, looks like Slimer just inside the ramp there. Anyway, that was Pinball Dreams. Hope you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Greetings, Jason, and welcome to Video Letter 13. I thought I'd do a series of low-quality digitizations for this talking segment because it might be interesting. These digitizations are being done live. Just hang on a second, I'm just going to adjust the intensity a bit there. Since this is Video Letter 13, I thought it would be appropriate to have a distinct horror theme throughout the entire thing. So what I've been doing is coming up with whatever I can think of that has to do with horror and so forth, and the good old unlucky number 13. That was of course Pinball Dreams, which you'll recognize from the previous video letter, assuming you've gotten through it by now. Yeah, I realize I've shown it to you before. I just thought, you know, it would be a little more appropriate in this video letter because it does have a horror theme to it and so forth. So, I used it. I'm sure you'll agree I did a little better that time than I did in the last video letter there. Let's see. Okay, I have another game demo to show you. It's a self-running demo, except unfortunately it won't run on the Amiga 600. So you'll have to wait until the 2000 comes back before you can see that. That's a dumb-looking picture. Yeah, anyway, enough of my funny faces there. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get on with the show here. I'm sure the novelty of this is worn off by now. So, what I shall do just bear with me for a sec here. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just get into the next segment. I'm not sure. So for every talking segment, I'm going to be doing something unique for this, because it's a special edition video letter, and I want to do special things for it. So sorry, when you hear me pause like that, that just means I'm posing for another digitized picture. These pictures are of course being digitized live. Basically as I'm talking, I'm just digitizing pictures at random, more or less. Sort of like the video phones they're coming out with now, where they show every few frames instead of running at a full 30 frames per second. Mind you, the video phones run a lot faster than this. Yeah. So once this picture finishes, I'll conclude it, and we'll get on with the show. Shall we? Okie dokie. So I hope the video letter's going okay so far. Hope you're enjoying it. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.